Have you ever wondered what it would be like to live a day in someone else's shoes, especially someone who was used to fame and admiration? What if, for a day, that person decided to disguise themselves and experience what it's like to be treated just like anyone else? Imagine Song Hye-kyo, one of South Korea's most beloved actresses, deciding to disguise herself as a waitress in a busy cafe. She's about to experience something unexpected that will leave everyone around her in shock. It's a quiet morning at a bustling cafe located in the heart of the city. The cafe is a popular spot for locals and tourists alike, with its rustic charm, cozy ambience, and the intoxicating aroma of freshly brewed coffee filling the air. People are busy enjoying their mornings, some sipping on their drinks, others lost in their laptops or books. The cafe, though simple, feels like a refuge from the chaos of the world outside. Song Hye-kyo, dressed in casual clothes, enters the cafe unnoticed. Her long black hair is tied in a simple ponytail, and she wears a pair of sunglasses that hide her face, ensuring that no one will recognize her. For the next few hours, she will take on a completely different role, one that will test her patience and resilience. She approaches the counter and speaks to the manager, who is unaware of her true identity. "I'd like to work here for today," she says with a smile, a hint of mischief in her voice. "I want to experience what it's like to be a part of the team and serve customers for a day." The manager, initially taken aback by her request, looks at her with curiosity. After a moment's hesitation, he decides to humor her, assuming that she's a young woman eager to try something new. "All right, if you really want to, I'll assign you a shift," he says. "But you'll be in the back helping with orders and drinks." Song Hye-kyo is thrilled by the opportunity. She's always been in the spotlight, admired by millions for her beauty and talent, but today, she's here to experience life from a different perspective. She gets changed into the cafe uniform, a simple apron and a white shirt, and takes her place behind the counter. At first, everything seems normal. She's just another waitress, carrying drinks to tables, taking orders, and smiling at customers. But then, something unexpected happens. One of the customers, a man in his mid-40s, looks her up and down with disdain. He scoffs and mutters under his breath as she approaches his table. "What is this?" the man says loudly, his voice cutting through the calm atmosphere of the cafe. "Do they hire anyone off the street to serve drinks now?" Song Hye-kyo is taken aback by the comment, but she forces a smile, doing her best to maintain her composure. "I'm sorry, sir, is there anything I can help you with?" she asks politely. The man continues, louder now, so that others can hear. "I didn't expect to be served by someone like you," he sneers. "You clearly have no experience, and it's honestly embarrassing to be waited on by someone so incompetent." A few customers at nearby tables glance up, some of them uncomfortable with the man's behavior. But Song Hye-kyo, though visibly shaken, keeps her head high. She knows she's in a disguise, and no one has recognized her yet. She's just another waitress in a busy cafe, and she must carry on with her duties, no matter how harshly she's being treated. The humiliation stings, but she doesn't let it show. She returns to the counter to collect his order, trying to ignore the sneers of the man who continues to speak ill of her. She can feel her cheeks flush, but she refuses to let her emotions take control. She is determined to complete this challenge and see it through to the end. Just as she is about to deliver the drinks to the man, the situation takes an unexpected turn. He stands up from his table, a smug look on his face. "I want to speak to your manager," he demands. "This is absolutely unacceptable. I refuse to be treated like this." Song Hye-kyo's heart races as she takes a deep breath, knowing that she has reached a crossroads. She is about to face a decision that will surprise everyone and no one will see it coming. Song Hye-kyo stands frozen for a moment, the drinks in her hands shaking slightly. She had expected a challenge, but this level of open disrespect was something entirely new. Her first instinct is to let someone else handle the situation. But as she stands there, the thought of giving up never crosses her mind. She takes a deep breath, putting the tray down on a nearby counter, and steps forward to confront the man. "I'm the manager," she says, her voice calm yet firm, despite the wave of embarrassment that threatens to rise. She has no intention of backing down. She looks the man squarely in the eyes, her demeanor now completely different. The man blinks in surprise, clearly caught off guard by her sudden authority. You, he scoffs, his tone mocking. You're the manager of this place? Song Hye-kyo nods, her expression unwavering. Yes, I am. And I apologize for the inconvenience. Let's talk about how we can resolve the situation. The man, now flustered by her unexpected response, stammers as he tries to maintain his bravado. I didn't expect, well, I don't care who you are. I won't stand for this treatment. I demand to be treated with respect. Without missing a beat, Song Hye-kyo responds, respect is earned, sir. It's not about status or position. Everyone here deserves to be treated with courtesy, including the staff. The other customers, who had been quietly watching, begin to shift uncomfortably in their seats. Some are surprised by the interaction, others seem to admire Song Hye-kyo's confidence. The man looks around, realizing that others are noticing his behavior. His shoulders slump, and for the first time, the cocky expression on his face falters. I didn't mean to, he starts, but Song Hye-kyo cuts him off. Words are powerful, sir, she says, her voice softer but no less commanding. What you say has consequences. Treating others with dignity isn't about your status, it's about respect for human beings. If you want respect, you have to give it first. The man stares at her, stunned by her response. He opens his mouth to argue, but the words seem to catch in his throat. Slowly, he realizes that he can't win this battle. His posture shifts, and the fire in his eyes begins to die down. The customers in the cafe watch in silence, waiting for the next move. Song Hye-kyo, not giving him an opportunity to further argue, places the drinks down on his table with a steady hand. Your order, sir, she says with a cool professionalism, the sharp edge of the earlier tension still in the air. The man, visibly humbled, mutters a low apology, his voice lacking the conviction it had before. I didn't mean to offend you. I wasn't expecting this. Song Hye-kyo nods once, her expression softening slightly, though her confidence remains intact. Everyone deserves a second chance. But let's not forget the importance of respect, both in how we speak to others and how we treat them. The man awkwardly takes a sip of his drink, his pride clearly wounded, but not one to press further. He looks around, realizing the moment is no longer in his favor. He retreats back into his seat, avoiding eye contact with the other customers, as if hoping the earth might swallow him whole. Song Hye-kyo turns away, returning to the counter where her manager stands, watching the scene unfold. Her manager, who had been silently observing from the sidelines, finally speaks up with a mix of surprise and admiration. That was impressive. You handled that well. Song Hye-kyo smiles, but it's not a smile of pride. It's a smile of quiet understanding. It wasn't about winning the argument. It was about standing my ground and remembering that everyone deserves to be treated with dignity. Her manager nods, clearly impressed. Well, you certainly earned that respect, not just from the guest, but from everyone here. As the day continues, the atmosphere in the cafe shifts. Customers who had previously been silent now begin to engage in quiet conversation, exchanging glances that suggest a newfound respect for Song Hye-kyo and her unwavering composure. The cafe feels different now, charged with an unspoken understanding that respect is something that must be given to all, no matter their role or appearance. As the shift comes to an end, Song Hye-kyo removes her waitress apron, the disguise still intact. She reflects on the experience, realizing that she may not have been recognized by anyone in the cafe, but in some ways, she has made a far greater impression than she ever could have as just an actress. Today, she wasn't just a famous face, she was a person who stood up for what was right, for herself and for others. As the day comes to a close, Song Hye-kyo leaves the cafe, her disguise still intact, but her mind is buzzing with the events that transpired. She walks down the street, the cool evening air brushing against her face. While she hadn't expected such a dramatic situation, she is glad that she had the opportunity to experience what it's like to be on the other side of the counter. For the first time in a long while, she wasn't the person everyone admired, she was just another worker trying to do her job, trying to earn respect. The interaction with the rude customer has left her both exhausted and exhilarated. It reminded her that no matter how famous or powerful a person might seem, it's the simple human decency and respect we show each other that really matters. She wonders if the man learned anything from his behavior. She hopes so. But what matters most is that she learned something about herself, that she could stand her ground and hold her own when faced with adversity, and that no one had the right to make her feel less than. The following days pass in a blur of reflection and realization. Song Hye-kyo continues to balance her career as an actress with this newfound experience of working in the service industry. She starts to feel a deeper connection to the people who work in roles that often go unnoticed. It's easy to take for granted the hard work and dedication that go into providing a service, whether it's a barista at a cafe or a concierge at a hotel, but now, having experienced it firsthand, Song Hye-kyo has a deeper appreciation for the people who make these everyday experiences happen. One evening, as she's walking down the street, Song Hye-kyo runs into a fan. The fan looks at her in disbelief, her eyes widening as she recognizes the actress. "Wait, are you?" "Song Hye-kyo," the fan asks, a hint of excitement in her voice. Song Hye-kyo smiles warmly and nods. "Yes, that's me. But I'm just a regular person like anyone else." "No need to make a fuss," she says, trying to keep things casual, remembering her recent experience in the cafe. The fan, starstruck but respectful, grins widely. "I can't believe I'm meeting you. You're such an inspiration to me," she says. "I've been watching your dramas for years." Song Hye-kyo smiles, but she feels a sense of discomfort. "Thank you. But I think the real inspiration comes from the people we don't usually recognize, those who work quietly in the background. It's easy to forget how much effort goes into making everything run smoothly." The fan looks at her, surprised by her response, but nods in agreement. "That's really thoughtful. I never really thought about it like that." Song Hye-kyo's words seem to resonate with the fan, who leaves with a new perspective on the world. As Song Hye-kyo continues her walk, she feels a renewed sense of purpose. She may be a famous actress, but she knows that her true value doesn't come from her fame, it comes from how she treats others and how she carries herself in the world. The next day, as she's sitting in a cafe once again, this time as herself, no disguise, she looks around and observes the workers behind the counter. She watches how they move, how they interact with customers, and how some are met with kindness while others are treated with impatience. The thought that everyone deserves respect, no matter their role, becomes clearer to her. She doesn't want to just be an actress. She wants to be someone who leaves a positive impact, who encourages others to think before they speak and act with kindness. That afternoon, while working on a project, Song Hye-kyo was asked to do a photoshoot for an upcoming endorsement. She agrees, but this time, as she steps in front of the camera, she feels different. Her recent experiences have shifted her mindset. The glitz and glamour of the industry don't define her. What matters is the simple human decency we extend to each other, regardless of our status or appearance. As she prepares to leave for the day, Song Hye-kyo notices a familiar face in the crowd, a young woman working as a waitress at a nearby cafe. She recognizes her from a few days ago, the same woman who had been serving with a smile while being treated disrespectfully by the same rude man. This time, however, she's serving a group of happy customers who treat her with kindness. Seeing the waitress smile makes Song Hye-kyo's heart swell with pride. She approaches the waitress, who looks up in surprise as she approaches. "I just wanted to say, I admire your strength," Song Hye-kyo says with a smile. "The way you handled everything that day was inspiring." The waitress, clearly taken aback, blinks before a shy smile spreads across her face. "Thank you. That means a lot to me." Song Hye-kyo nods. "You deserve to be treated with respect, always. Keep your head high." With that, Song Hye-kyo leaves, her heart full, knowing that this simple exchange will stay with both of them. It's the small moments that can change the way we see ourselves and others. The next few days bring a shift in Song Hye-kyo's perspective on her life. As she continues her routine, she finds herself more attuned to the people around her, whether it's the staff at a coffee shop or her coworkers on set. She's become more mindful of the small, seemingly insignificant moments that can have a profound impact on others. Whether it's a smile, a word of encouragement, or a simple acknowledgement of someone's hard work, Song Hye-kyo understands now that every interaction matters. Her time as a waitress, disguised from the world she's used to, has become a turning point in her life. While she once lived in a bubble of fame, surrounded by people who treated her with reverence and admiration, she's now gained a deeper understanding of what it means to be human. She's realized that no matter how successful or famous someone is, we all deserve respect, and sometimes, the most powerful moments of connection happen when we least expect them. One afternoon, as Song Hye-kyo was working on a new drama, she gets a message from her agent, who has just returned from a meeting with a charity organization she's worked with before. The message reads, "We have a new initiative, and we would love for you to be part of it. It's focused on raising awareness about the importance of respecting all people, no matter their job or background. We thought this would align perfectly with your recent experiences." Song Hye-kyo was moved by the request. She had always been involved in charity work, but this new initiative feels particularly close to her heart. The idea of using her influence to promote respect for all, no matter what role someone plays in society, aligns perfectly with the lessons she's learned over the past few weeks. Without hesitation, she agrees to participate. "I'd love to be a part of it," she writes back. "I believe that respecting others is something that should be at the core of everything we do." As the campaign develops, Song Hye-kyo begins to speak at events, sharing her story of working as a waitress and the lessons she learned from the experience. She talks about the importance of understanding others' struggles and the need to treat everyone with dignity, whether they're in a position of power or working behind the scenes. Her words resonate deeply with those who hear them. Many people, particularly in the entertainment industry, have been used to being admired and respected for their fame, but few have considered how little attention is given to those who work in service roles. Song Hye-kyo's honesty and openness about her own experience break down barriers and encourage others to think more critically about the way they treat the people around them. At one of the events, she meets a young waiter who had worked in a restaurant for years but had always been dismissed as just a waiter. The waiter tells Song Hye-kyo about the challenges they face, about the disrespect they often encounter, and about the struggle to maintain dignity while working in a job that many see as less important. After their conversation, Song Hye-kyo feels a deep connection to the waiter's story. She knows that her experience, though brief, has given her a glimpse into the challenges faced by millions of people in service roles across the world. She makes a promise to herself that she will continue to use her platform to advocate for the importance of respect for all. Weeks later, the campaign is officially launched, and the response is overwhelming. People from all walks of life join in, sharing their own stories of standing up for respect, dignity, and equality. The initiative becomes a movement, and Song Hye-kyo's role in it becomes a symbol of change. But the most rewarding part of this journey for Song Hye-kyo isn't the accolades or recognition she receives, it's the small moments that happen along the way. The smile of a waiter who's finally recognized for their hard work, the thank you from a customer who appreciates the effort of a barista, or the grateful look in someone's eyes when they are treated with the respect they deserve. As the movement grows, Song Hye-kyo realizes that the lesson she learned that day in the cafe, when she disguised herself as a waitress and was humiliated by a rude customer, was just the beginning. It wasn't about shocking others or proving a point. It was about realizing that the most important thing we can offer each other is respect. Her journey of self-discovery and understanding has led her to a place of empathy, and it's something she carries with her in every aspect of her life. She's no longer just a famous actress, she's someone who sees the value in every person, regardless of their role or title. And as she continues her work with the charity, she knows that the message she is spreading, respect for all, is one that will change lives. As the campaign continues to gain momentum, Song Hye-kyo finds herself in the midst of a transformation not just within herself, but within society. The impact of her story, paired with the message of respect and dignity for all, reaches far beyond what she had originally anticipated. People from all walks of life begin to take notice, and a growing number of people are sharing their own experiences about the value of showing kindness and respect to those who work in service roles. One day, while attending a meeting with the charity organization, Song Hye-kyo is introduced to a group of young professionals who work in various industries, including the service sector. They share their struggles and experiences, and Song Hye-kyo listens intently, her heart heavy with empathy. She recognizes that their stories are similar to the ones she encountered in her own journey. Many of them have faced ridicule, disregard, or outright disrespect because of their positions in life. "I just want people to understand that we are not invisible," one young woman, a waitress herself, says. "We work hard every day, but sometimes it feels like no one sees the effort we put in." We're just there to serve. Song Hye-kyo nods in agreement, feeling a deep sense of connection to the woman's words. She remembers how she felt when she was disguised as a waitress and the man's cruel words. She had been humiliated in that moment, but that experience has become a powerful lesson in the importance of treating others with kindness, no matter their job or background. She speaks to the group, sharing her own experience of working in the cafe and how that day had changed her perspective on life. "I've been where you are," she says, her voice steady. "And I know how it feels to be underestimated, to be looked down upon. But I also know that you are not defined by your job. You are defined by your character, by the way you treat others, and by the respect you demand and give in return." The group listens intently, their faces lighting up with a mixture of hope and relief. Song Hye-kyo can see the difference she's making with just a few simple words, and it fills her with a sense of purpose. She isn't just advocating for respect on a global scale, she's changing the lives of individuals who have felt overlooked or unimportant. Later, as the conversation continues, Song Hye-kyo is approached by a young man who works as a hotel bellboy. He shyly thanks her for her advocacy and shares his own story. "I've always felt invisible at work," he says, his voice filled with vulnerability. "People don't even look at me when I greet them or when I help them. It's like they don't even notice that I'm doing my job." Song Hye-kyo's heart aches for him, and she places a comforting hand on his shoulder. "I know exactly what you mean," she says softly. "But let me tell you something, you are important. You are contributing in ways that many people don't see, but that doesn't make your work any less valuable. The dignity you bring to your work, the kindness you show, that's what truly matters. And I promise you, people do notice. Even if it doesn't always feel like it." The young man smiles, his eyes filling with gratitude. It's a small gesture, but to Song Hye-kyo, it feels like a huge victory. She knows that the conversation they've just had has given him a newfound sense of confidence and self-worth. As the campaign progresses, more and more stories like these begin to emerge. People from different walks of life, waiters, janitors, cashiers, hotel staff, share their experiences and their struggles, but they also share the strength they've gained from the support of others who see their value. One afternoon, while filming a new segment for the campaign, Song Hye-kyo was approached by a television host who had followed the story from the beginning. He asks her how she feels now, after everything that has happened. "You've changed the conversation around respect," he says. "You've made people see those in service roles as human beings, not just employees. How do you feel about that?" Song Hye-kyo pauses for a moment, her gaze thoughtful. "I feel grateful," she says, her voice filled with emotion. "Grateful that I had the chance to learn these lessons and grateful that I can share them with others. It's not about fame or recognition. It's about the simple, everyday moments where we choose to treat others with dignity. That's the change I want to see in the world." As the camera pans out and the interview wraps up, Song Hye-kyo feels a deep sense of fulfillment. She has come full circle, from the actress who lived in the limelight to the woman who now fights for the rights and dignity of those whose voices often go unheard. The lessons she's learned have shaped her into someone who not only sees the value in others but actively works to ensure they are seen, respected, and appreciated. As Song Hye-kyo reflects on everything she has accomplished with the campaign, she begins to notice a subtle yet powerful shift in the way people treat one another. Small acts of kindness, holding doors for others, offering a smile to a tired cashier, or thanking someone for their service, become more common. And while these moments may seem insignificant to some, they are powerful reminders that respect and dignity are not just ideals, they are actions that can transform the world around us. One day, as she is walking through a busy street after a meeting, she is stopped by a woman in her early 20s. The woman seems excited but also a bit hesitant, unsure of how to approach Song Hye-kyo. "Excuse me, are you Song Hye-kyo?" she asks nervously. Song Hye-kyo turns to face her, smiling kindly. "Yes, I am. How are you?" The young woman hesitates before continuing. "I just wanted to thank you. Your campaign, the message about respect, it really changed my perspective. I work as a barista at a cafe, and I used to feel like no one noticed me or my hard work. But now, every time I serve a customer, I remember your words, you are important. It sounds simple, but it made all the difference in the way I feel about my job and myself." Song Hye-kyo's heart swells with pride and gratitude. She never imagined that her own story could impact someone else in such a profound way. "I'm so happy to hear that," she says warmly. "You deserve to feel valued, no matter what job you have. The world wouldn't work without people like you." The young woman smiles, her eyes filled with tears of gratitude. "Thank you. You've made me feel like I'm not invisible anymore." As the woman walks away, Song Hye-kyo feels a quiet sense of fulfillment. She may not be able to change the entire world overnight, but in this moment, she knows she has made a difference in someone's life. Her journey, which began with a simple act of disguising herself as a waitress, has turned into something much larger. It's a movement, one that challenges the way we view and treat others. It's a reminder that respect, kindness, and empathy are the building blocks of a better world. Later that day, as Song Hye-kyo prepares for her next public appearance, she receives a message from the charity organization she has worked closely with. The message reads, "We've been so inspired by your passion and dedication to this cause. We want to take this campaign to the next level, and we'd love for you to be a part of it. This is just the beginning of a bigger movement, and your leadership will make all the difference." Song Hye-kyo smiles as she reads the message, realizing that this movement, this campaign for respect, has only just begun. Her own personal growth, the lessons she's learned from working as a waitress, and the stories of people whose lives have been touched by her message have all come together to create a force of change. She looks out the window, watching as people walk by, each person carrying their own story, their own struggles, their own dreams. And in that moment, Song Hye-kyo knows that the true measure of success isn't the fame or recognition she's received, but the impact she's had on others, the lives she's touched with her message of respect and dignity. So, if you've made it this far, type "respect" in the comments. Let's all remember that no matter who we are, what we do, or where we come from, we all deserve to be treated with kindness and dignity. Respect is the foundation of human connection, and it starts with us.